Chosen ones, please hear this with all your heart. This is not just another moment on your screen. This is heaven sending you a word too important to ignore. The Lord is saying, do not skip this. Do not take this lightly. Because what He is placing in front of you right now carries the weight of your destiny, your future, and your breakthrough. You've been walking through seasons where confusion tried to drown your clarity, where fear whispered that you were finished, and where lack told you that you would never rise again. But the truth is this: you are still standing because God never left your side. The same God who spoke galaxies into existence has already spoken promises over your life, and His word cannot return empty. This is why you cannot dismiss what you're hearing today. It's too important, too serious, too connected to your calling to treat casually. Look around you. So many are distracted, chasing after things that don't matter. But you, yes, you were handpicked to carry a different mantle. This is why you feel a stirring inside your spirit even now. It's God's way of saying, I have more for you. And when God says more, it means more peace, more wisdom, more opportunities, more financial breakthrough, more love than you thought you could ever hold. Comment 777 if you receive this, because heaven records the faith you declare. There are gates opening right now that were sealed shut for years. There are doors being prepared for you to walk through that no enemy can close. And there are blessings already in motion that your mind cannot yet comprehend. This is why you must stay awake, stay ready, stay aligned. Chosen one, don't play with this moment. Don't treat lightly what God is magnifying as urgent. Hit that like button if your spirit agrees, and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls who are walking this same path of divine revelation and breakthrough. Remember, delay is not denial. God is aligning His perfect timing with your preparation. Every tear, every setback, every long night, it wasn't wasted. It was the soil where your next season of abundance is about to grow. And when it sprouts, it won't just bless you, it will overflow into your family, your community, and generations to come. Stay with me. What's about to unfold next in this word is not just encouragement, it is instruction from heaven that you cannot afford to miss. Chosen ones, listen closely, because God is drawing a clear line between what was and what is about to be. There are shifts happening in the unseen realm that will soon manifest in the natural. You may not feel it yet, but the atmosphere around your life is heavy with change. Angels are already dispatched on your behalf, moving pieces you cannot see, aligning resources you didn't even know existed. That's why you can't take this lightly. Heaven is orchestrating a move that requires your awareness, your faith, and your obedience, because what is unfolding has never happened in your lineage before. There is a reason you've been sensing restlessness, as if your spirit knew something bigger was coming but couldn't quite name it. That restlessness is not emptiness. It is the sound of chains breaking, of curses being cut off, of new territory being released into your hands. God is saying that you will not walk the same cycle your family walked. You will not inherit the same failures. You will not repeat the same mistakes. You are the interruption to patterns that kept generations bound, and the proof will be undeniable when provision, clarity, and opportunities flow into your life in ways that contradict every statistic that said you would fail. Chosen one, understand this: your preparation season looked like delay, but it was actually strategy. God was teaching you resilience in silence, teaching you trust when answers were hidden, and teaching you how to carry weight without breaking. Because the blessing coming is not ordinary, it's generational. It is not a single open door, It is a corridor of influence that will ripple into places you've never stepped before. This is why the attacks on you have been relentless, because the enemy could see glimpses of what was marked for your future, and he panicked. But what he didn't realize is that his attacks became your training ground, his resistance became your refinement, and his lies became the very evidence that God's truth over you is unshakable. There will be moments where it feels like you are standing in the middle of contradictions, your reality saying one thing, but God's promise declaring another. And it is in those moments where faith becomes your weapon. You were not chosen to fold under pressure. You were chosen to hold on when others let go, to believe when others mocked, and to keep standing when the storm wanted to knock you down. Every battle you survived is about to turn into authority. Every scar you carry is about to speak louder than doubt. Every door that slammed shut in your face is about to be replaced with a gate so wide that it will shock those who thought they buried you. Do not overlook the small signs, because heaven often whispers before it shouts. The conversation that feels random, the opportunity that comes quietly, the person who shows up at the right moment. All of these are markers that God's hand is positioning you. And while others chase recognition, you will find that favor is chasing you. You won't have to beg for seats at tables, because God is preparing a table for you in the presence of those who doubted you. And when you sit there, it won't be because you forced your way in. It will be because heaven endorsed your name and placed it in the hearts of people you never even met. This is too important to ignore, because God is not only answering prayers you've prayed, He is answering prayers your ancestors never had the courage to voice. You are the evidence that their sacrifice was not wasted, that their tears watered a seed you are now carrying to harvest. Comment 777 if your spirit agrees, because this number is not just digits, it is a prophetic alignment with completion and divine fulfillment. When you type it, you're saying yes to the fullness of what God is ready to release, yes to the closing of old cycles, yes to the beginning of a life where His abundance is your reality. And let this be clear, when the release comes, it will not come gradually, it will come suddenly. The kind of suddenly that shifts your location, your finances, your relationships, and your opportunities all at once. Suddenly the job is offered, suddenly the debt is cleared, suddenly the right people surround you, suddenly the idea turns into profit, suddenly the door you thought was locked swings wide. That's why this word carries weight, because it's preparing you to be ready for the suddenly, so that when it comes, you don't hesitate, you don't shrink back, you don't question if you deserve it. You step boldly because you are chosen, and chosen ones walk into what is theirs with certainty. Chosen ones, there is a stirring in the atmosphere that is calling you to rise differently than before. What you are stepping into will not resemble anything you have seen in your past, and that is why you must take this word with absolute seriousness. God is not repeating history with you. He is writing something entirely new. The favor that is coming will not fit inside the structures that limited you before. It will require you to step out of comfort, to walk paths that have never been charted in your family, to embrace responsibilities that once seemed unreachable. This is not just about personal breakthrough. It is about stepping into an assignment that carries weight for nations, for communities, for souls you haven't even met yet. The reason the opposition felt so personal is because the promise attached to your name is not ordinary. You were targeted because the magnitude of your calling threatened realms of darkness that had stood unchallenged for generations. Every time you wondered why the attacks wouldn't stop, why people turned against you without reason, why doors closed when you had done nothing wrong, understand this: It was proof that what you carry disrupts powers that do not want you to stand in your full authority. But God is saying, you will not be silenced, you will not be delayed, you will not be stripped of what He ordained before you were born. This season is marked by divine exposure. Things that were hidden are being revealed. The motives of those around you are being uncovered. The truth about your circumstances is coming into light, and the illusions that tried to keep you small are breaking apart. You are going to see clearly, not with your natural eyes only, but with discernment so sharp that deception cannot survive near you. And when clarity comes, you must move boldly, because hesitation will only keep you tied to what God is already cutting away. Every hidden plot, every secret scheme, every unseen barrier is being dismantled right now so that you can walk freely into the space God has reserved for you. There will be an acceleration that feels almost overwhelming, because what was delayed is being released all at once. The waiting season stretched your patience, but it also compressed blessings into a single wave that is now about to crash over your life. Contracts that were stalled will suddenly be signed. Relationships that were strained will suddenly be restored or replaced. Opportunities that were locked away will suddenly be placed in front of you. And this acceleration is not just to bless you. It is to make up for the time you thought you lost, to restore years that the enemy tried to steal, to ensure you arrive exactly where you need to be, without delay. Chosen one, understand the seriousness of stewardship in this moment. What you receive now is not only for your hands, but for the generations after you. The financial increase, the open doors, the influence, the ideas, these are seeds meant to outlive you, to create legacies of impact that stretch beyond your lifetime. God is entrusting you with resources not just to build comfort, but to build destiny. He is trusting you to use what you are about to receive as tools for transformation, to lift others, to expand His kingdom, to carry light into places where it has been absent. And as you steward faithfully, the flow will never run dry. There is also a shift in your voice. The same voice that once trembled with doubt will now carry authority that cannot be denied. When you speak, people will listen, not because of your eloquence, but because of the anointing behind your words. Conversations will shift, rooms will shift, atmospheres will shift when you open your mouth. You will carry influence in spaces where your presence was once overlooked. And this voice is not just for encouragement, it is for instruction, for strategy, for direction that others have been waiting on. God is placing words in your mouth that will open the eyes of those around you and confirm paths that they could not see clearly until you spoke. And let this sink in, you are stepping into divine alignment where every part of your being matches heaven's intention for you. Your mind is being sharpened, your spirit strengthened, your body renewed, your path illuminated. No detail is being overlooked. Even the smallest area of your life is being aligned so that you can stand in fullness, lacking nothing. Alignment means wrong relationships fall off, distractions lose power, confusion dissolves, and everything in you points toward the destiny written for you. And when you stand in that alignment, nothing can shake you, because you are planted too deeply in God's purpose to be uprooted. Chosen ones, what is unfolding in your life right now is not random, it is precise, it is intentional, and it has been written long before you ever faced your first battle. Every delay, every setback, every unanswered question has been serving the purpose of preparing you for a release that is bigger than your imagination. You may have thought the wilderness season was wasted, but it was in that wilderness that God shaped your character, stretched your endurance, and tested the foundations of your faith. Without that hidden preparation, you would not be able to carry the weight of the blessing that is now arriving. What once felt like silence from heaven was actually God building the capacity inside of you to hold what others could not carry. There is a mantle being placed on your shoulders, and it comes with authority that will distinguish you in every room you step into. People will not always understand why doors open for you, why your name is mentioned in circles you never entered, why opportunities find you when others have been striving endlessly. It is because you are marked, sealed with favor that cannot be explained by human logic. This favor is not fragile. It is not conditional. It is not dependent on the approval of those around you. It comes directly from God, and because of that, it cannot be revoked. This mantle will cause people to both honor you and misunderstand you, but you must remember that you are accountable to the one who placed it on you, not to the opinions of those who try to interpret your calling. A wave of divine justice is also being released over your life. The wrongs that were done to you, the betrayals that cut deep, the seasons where your name was slandered and your efforts overlooked. God is settling those accounts. The tables are turning, and those who mocked your obedience will witness the fruit of it. This is not about revenge. It is about vindication. It is about heaven making it clear that His hand has always been on you. The same people who underestimated you will have to acknowledge that something supernatural has carried you to where you stand. And when the justice manifests, you will not need to defend yourself, because your life will speak louder than any argument you could ever make. This is also a season of divine clarity in identity. For too long, you measured yourself against the labels others placed on you. But now God is stripping those labels away and revealing the truth of who you really are. You are not defined by failure. You are not defined by lack. You are not defined by what you lost. You are defined by the word that was spoken over you before the foundation of the earth. That you are chosen, that you are called, that you are set apart. When you move from this place of identity, your steps gain confidence, your decisions carry boldness, and your presence commands respect even without you trying. You will no longer walk in rooms wondering if you belong. You will walk knowing you were sent. Pay attention to the unusual instructions that come in this season. God is not going to lead you by familiar patterns. He may tell you to start something small that feels insignificant, and that very thing will unlock abundance you could never have predicted. He may position you to meet someone unexpected, and that connection will carry the key to the next stage of your destiny. He may nudge you to release something you thought you needed, only to replace it with something far greater. Obedience will be the currency that unlocks the flow of blessings waiting for you. Do not dismiss the quiet whispers, because they are strategies from heaven designed to place you in alignment with sudden miracles. Chosen one, prepare for elevation that does not come by human effort, but by divine appointment. You will see your name carried into places you have not walked, your work recognized by people you never contacted, your influence stretched across boundaries you once thought impossible. This elevation is not just about status, it is about positioning you where your light can impact the greatest number of people. And even when it feels intimidating, even when you question if you are ready, remember this: if God placed you there, He already prepared you for it. He is not elevating you to expose your weakness. He is elevating you to reveal His strength through you. And there is a deep rest being given to your soul, not the rest that comes from sleep, but the rest that comes from knowing you are carried. You will no longer strive the way you once did, no longer exhaust yourself trying to control outcomes that are already in God's hands. This rest is supernatural. It allows you to move with peace even when the storm rages. It allows you to take bold steps without fear of failing. It allows you to breathe freely, knowing that the burden is no longer on your shoulders alone. From this place of rest, you will accomplish more in one season than you did in years of striving. Chosen ones, there is a shaking taking place that is designed to separate what can remain from what must fall away. Do not be alarmed when certain structures collapse or when relationships suddenly dissolve, because these shifts are not punishment, they are preparation. God is removing everything that cannot carry the weight of your future, everything that would crumble under the glory about to rest on your life. What looks like loss is actually protection. What feels like disconnection is actually alignment. And what seems like instability is God laying a foundation that cannot be shaken again. You are being uprooted from shallow soil so that you can be planted where your roots will run deep and your fruit will remain. There is an unlocking of hidden creativity and ideas that have been lying dormant inside you. Dreams you once abandoned will begin to stir again. Visions you thought were impossible will resurface with clarity, and solutions that seemed out of reach will suddenly be within your grasp. This is not imagination, it is divine activation. God is breathing on the gifts He placed in you long ago. Gifts that were waiting for this appointed season to come alive. You will find yourself producing work, creating opportunities, and birthing projects that not only sustain you, but impact countless others. These ideas are not random, they are strategies for influence, channels for provision, and tools to advance the calling on your life. Chosen one, the environment around you will also begin to reflect the transformation happening within. Spaces that once felt heavy will feel light. Atmospheres that once drained you will now energize you, and people around you will notice the shift without you having to explain it. The glow of God's presence will be unmistakable, and it will draw both favor and resistance. Some will be magnetized to your light because they see hope in it, while others will be unsettled because it confronts what they refuse to change. But do not dim yourself to make others comfortable. Your assignment is not to blend in, but to shine so brightly that even those who resist are forced to acknowledge that something greater is at work in you. Financial resources that were previously blocked are being released with acceleration. Unexpected streams of income, forgotten debts repaid, doors of provision opening through unlikely channels. These are all signs of divine supply overtaking your life. This is not simply about wealth for your own comfort. It is about resourcing your mission, equipping you to fund what God has called you to build, and enabling you to bless others in ways you could never do before. The shift in your finances will carry evidence of divine timing, where needs are met at the exact moment they arise, and opportunities appear right when you are ready to handle them. The pressure of lack is being broken, and you will walk in the freedom of knowing that provision is no longer a question, but a guarantee. Your relationships are also being restructured. People who drain your energy, discourage your vision, or sow doubt into your spirit will begin to fall away, not by your force, but by divine separation. In their place, God is sending destiny connections. Individuals who see you for who you truly are, who speak life into your purpose, and who align with the path you are walking. These relationships will feel different because they are covenantal, not transactional. They will sharpen you, challenge you, and support you in ways you never experienced before. With them, you will find strength, strategy, and accountability to carry out what you are called to do. There is also a new authority rising in your prayers. What you once asked timidly, you will now declare boldly, and heaven will respond quickly. Intercession will not feel like empty words. It will feel like striking targets with precision. When you pray for healing, you will see evidence. When you pray for breakthrough, doors will open. When you pray for protection, divine covering will manifest. Your prayers are becoming weapons in the spiritual realm, weapons that dismantle strongholds and release freedom not only over your life, but over the lives of those connected to you. God is entrusting you with authority because He can trust your heart to use it for His glory, not your own gain. Chosen one, understand that the weight of your influence will not only impact your present, but will echo into future generations. The choices you are making now, the faith you are walking in, the battles you are winning, these will become the foundation upon which your children, your community, and those who come after you will stand. You are breaking cycles that once seemed unbreakable, and your obedience will open doors for people you may never even meet. This is legacy work, work that ensures your name is remembered not just for what you accomplished, but for how you carried God's assignment faithfully in your time. Chosen ones, the hour you are standing in is marked by divine reversals, moments where what seemed final will suddenly turn in your favor. The report that told you it was over will be rewritten. The circumstance that looked permanent will shift, and the situation that felt like a dead end will transform into an open path. God specializes in reversals, and He is about to demonstrate that nothing is too far gone for His hand to redeem. The stone that was rejected is becoming the cornerstone in your life, and the very areas where you were counted out will become the platforms where you are celebrated. This is why you must be alert. What felt like defeat is about to serve as undeniable evidence of victory. There is an awakening of boldness rising inside you, a courage that will not shrink back when opportunity knocks. You will find yourself saying yes to doors you once thought were too intimidating, standing before people you once thought were unreachable, and taking steps that once seemed impossible. This boldness is not arrogance. It is divine confidence rooted in the assurance that God has gone ahead of you. It is the same confidence that allowed David to face Goliath with only a sling, the same confidence that allowed Esther to step before the king, the same confidence that allowed Peter to walk on water. You are being infused with a courage that will cause you to move with authority in spaces designed to intimidate you, and your obedience will break barriers not only for yourself, but for many who come after you. Watch for the signs of sudden alignment in your daily life. An unexpected message, a chance meeting, an open invitation. These will not be coincidences, but orchestrations from heaven. God is weaving together details that may seem small in isolation, but form a perfect picture when viewed in full. The timing of these alignments will leave you with no doubt that the hand of God is guiding you. When the right people appear, when the resources align, when the opportunity matches your preparation, you will realize that nothing was delayed, everything was scheduled. This is a season where divine precision will be evident, where every step unfolds as if it had been rehearsed long before you arrived. Chosen one, the anointing on your life is expanding, and with expansion comes responsibility. Do not be surprised when more is asked of you, when people begin to look to you for guidance, when you feel the weight of influence increasing. This is not to overwhelm you, but to stretch you into the fullness of your calling. You will be entrusted with influence in arenas that require discernment, wisdom, and humility, and God will equip you with all three. Where once you doubted your ability to lead, you will now find yourself leading naturally, not because you sought it, but because the grace to carry it is upon you. Leadership is no longer a role you will avoid. It is a mantle you will wear, and others will be drawn to your light because it carries the fragrance of truth and authenticity. There is a supernatural sharpening of your discernment that will protect you in this elevation. No longer will manipulation or deception be able to disguise itself in your presence. The whispers meant to distract you will be silenced, and the counterfeit opportunities meant to trap you will be exposed before they can take root. God is giving you eyes to see beyond appearances, ears to hear beyond words, and a heart to sense what lies beneath the surface. This discernment will become one of your greatest weapons, saving you from detours and aligning you with paths that lead to increase. You will know what to accept, what to decline, and what to walk away from without hesitation, and this clarity will keep you from being entangled in what is beneath your calling. The atmosphere around you is also shifting, carrying a frequency that magnetizes what belongs to you. The people meant to connect with you will feel drawn. The resources meant to sustain you will find you. The opportunities designed for you will seek you out. You will no longer live in the posture of chasing after what you need, because what is yours by divine assignment will pursue you. Blessings will not trickle, they will overtake. They will arrive faster than you expect, and they will confirm that you are living under an open heaven. Even in moments of stillness, movement will be happening on your behalf. Even when you sleep, negotiations and alignments will be unfolding that prepare the way for you to step into favor at the exact time. Chosen ones, understand that this season carries a transfer, a movement of wealth, of influence, of opportunity from the hands of those who misused it into the hands of those who will steward it well. This transfer is not by chance, it is by design. You have been entrusted because you proved faithful with little, and now God is ready to entrust you with more. The shift will be evident not only in your personal life, but in the way communities, families, and systems are changed through what you carry. You are a vessel for redistribution, a chosen channel through which heaven's abundance flows into places of need. And as you pour out, more will flow in, creating a cycle of endless supply that proves God is the ultimate source. Chosen ones, there is a sound in the spirit announcing your arrival into a new dimension, a realm where what was once locked away is now being handed over. You have been walking through seasons where doors refused to open, where opportunities slipped through your fingers, where it felt like your prayers echoed back without answer. But this silence was never abandonment. It was incubation. God was holding certain things back, not to deny you, but to ensure that when they were released, you would be strong enough, wise enough, and equipped enough to sustain them. What is coming now is not fragile. It is fortified. It has been marinated in the timing of heaven, and once it lands in your hands, no force will be able to take it away. There is a breaking of invisible ceilings that once capped your progress. These ceilings were not physical. They were spiritual patterns, limitations, unspoken rules that said you could only go so far. For years you pressed against them, feeling the frustration of knowing there was more but being unable to touch it. Now those ceilings are shattering. You will walk into spaces you were once denied. You will access resources you were once told you couldn't reach, and you will rise into levels that generations before you never saw. This breaking is not gradual, it is violent, it is decisive, and it will launch you into dimensions that make sense only in hindsight. Chosen one, pay attention to the atmosphere of sudden invitations. There will be people who approach you with opportunities you did not apply for, rooms you did not seek, and platforms you did not ask to stand on. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence. They are divine appointments disguised as human decisions. God is whispering your name into conversations you have never entered, and the fruit of years of unseen labor will now be recognized openly. What was once hidden in obscurity is being placed in plain view, not for vanity, but for assignment. You were preserved in the background, so that when the moment arrived, your authenticity would outshine pretension and your preparation would silence doubt. There is a restoration of time that you thought was lost. Every year spent wandering, every season wasted in confusion, every hour you mourned over opportunities that seemed gone forever. God is folding them into this moment. He is redeeming time by accelerating your progress, collapsing years of effort into days of breakthrough, and restoring what was stolen in ways that exceed what you could have built on your own. You will see in this season that nothing was wasted, because even your waiting became part of the testimony. The years you thought were useless will stand as proof that God can restore and multiply what seemed impossible to recover. A mantle of strategy is being placed on you, not just to dream, but to execute with precision. Ideas will flow with clarity. But more than that, you will know exactly how to build, who to partner with, and when to move. This mantle carries wisdom that turns vision into reality, that transforms inspiration into manifestation. Where before you wrestled with how to make things happen, now instructions will come like blueprints dropped into your spirit. You will find yourself moving with efficiency, making decisions that unlock doors, and positioning yourself for outcomes far greater than your effort. This is not luck. It is strategy born in the mind of God and entrusted to you because you have proven faithful.